Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Tom, sitting here in our shop getting ready to start cleaning things up and get together on this experimental plane I've got. But I figured I'd take a few minutes here and sit down and explain one of the hardest things about this is, where does this ambition come from? What did I come up with to end up where I am, and why do I even want to try to get this pilot's license? 50 some years old here, and now all of a sudden I want to get up in the sky and do some things. And this isn't going to be easy. It's not going to be cheap. It will be fun. Bring you guys along with me, show you some of these trials and tribulations I got to go to. I'll give you a little history on what's going on, but not sure where my ambition to get an airplane and get up in the sky and start flying came from. I think it's a culmination of a few things that went along. My uncle used to have an airplane. Every once in a while, he'd take us up in it. I really enjoyed it. Getting up in the air and being able to fly around and just relax. Obviously, there's things you got to pay attention to when you're up there, but it's a whole different world than getting in a car and driving around with everybody down here. Up there, you got rules, you got regulations, and you got open sky. It's a great feeling up there. A little bit different than commercial flying. When you're private flying, you map your road, you do what you want to do, you go to the places you want to go, and you come back. If you do it all right, you follow all the guidelines, it's really a safe program. Used to have a motorcycle. I really loved the motorcycle. Got to go out on the open road and relax and enjoy that whole scene. I loved it. I loved my bike. We had a business. I didn't really have a place to store the bike. I decided to sell it last fall. That way I didn't have to store it over the winter. It helped the business a little bit when I did that. All this year, of course, now we're in the late summer now. We're almost into fall. Kind of miss my bike. Kind of miss being able to get on that bike, go out and relax. The scariest part about being on the bike, all the bigger vehicles that are around you that can cause you problems. And you were always on the lookout for that. I enjoyed doing it. But that was the one thing on the back of my mind was you had these other vehicles around you, other people around you that may or may not see you, may cause you more problems. And even though I'm in a rural area, I'm not really out in the middle of a metropolitan area, we still had problems. We still had people that motorcycles are hard to be seen on. Not saying I was afraid of them or scared of them, but that was the drawback to being on a motorcycle. I've worked a few airports. I work construction normally, so I wanted to look up in the sky all the time when I was working around them and watch these guys take off in these airplanes and land in these airplanes. And honestly, my whole life, I've pretty much piloted, drove, operated almost everything under the sky except an airplane. The airplane is the one thing I'd never really taken upon myself to say, hey, I want to go do this. I almost did it when my uncle had his plane, but I decided not to for some reason. I think it had to do with having kids and expenses and priorities in other directions. We just sold our, I shouldn't say sold, we just got rid of our business. My wife and I got wore out doing that. And so now I got a little bit of free time on my hands. And I want to do what it takes to get me behind the controls of an airplane and learn it the right way and do the right things and go up there and have fun. That's going to be a long step for a guy like me. Every year I operated equipment, the cabs got smaller every year. I kind of laughed about it. Never really realized how much weight I was gaining as a human being. I started asking questions finally when I wanted to go forth with this pilot's license thing, and there's not really a weight limit on being a pilot, but there are weight limits on having airplanes. And most of your airplanes that you learn to fly in, they've only got 600, 700 pounds of useful weight with them, and that includes the fuel, the instructor, and the pilot. And at my weight, I'm taking half of that. So that means less fuel and a smaller teacher. It's not going to work with any of the airports around me. I don't have anybody that has a big Cessna 180 or something like that that's going to haul me and a instructor and a full tank of fuel. So a lot of the airports are just simply telling me, you're going to lose weight before we can go up. And matter of fact, my airplane that I'm going to try to build back here, it only holds about 600 pounds. Now, luckily, it's just going to be me in that plane, but I still got to have fuel in that plane. So one of the big steps I have to take is, after being an adult for 30 years of eating steaks and doing the things I want, I'm going to have to slim down. Just for the heck of it, I went to my endocrinologist because I do have diabetes, and I started doing blood work and all this stuff, a little more serious than I had been in the years before. And a figure stuck out in my head. I was 368 pounds. Round that up, that's 400 pounds. And like I was just saying, some of these airplanes only have 600 pounds of capacity. So if I'm going to get up in the air, I got to lose some weight. I think a good target weight for me is about 289. Subtract that from 360, you can see the challenge that I have in front of me. Now I'm working with my flight doctor, who let me know that right off the bat, diabetes is another hurdle. There's not a flight doctor out there that can approve me for a medical. It has to go through the FAA. Once he recommends that I get approved for this by showing records of the fact that I've been treated for diabetes over the years, and I have a plan, and I have a program, and I have an endocrinologist working with me, he can recommend that they approve me. But in the end, the FAA has to say yes or no. And it's very possible they're going to say no. In which case, I can get my pilot's license, but I can't fly alone. So you still have to lose weight to do that. Now, I don't know if you know how diabetes works, but losing weight could be a solve of that whole problem. So at 52 years old, I'm going to have to sit back and start doing the things that it takes to lose weight, which is pretty tough because I've taken 50 years to train my body not to worry about losing weight. So I've got a plan with my endocrinologist. My first order of attack is just to simply start eating less. Do less of what I wanted to. Don't sit and eat the snacks. I've given up soft drinks a long time ago, so that's not even an issue. Water and iced tea is about all I drink, and that creates a problem because some places don't have iced tea. And anyways, long story short, this isn't easy for a guy like me. I've got to sit down and buckle down and do what I got to do. Now, the actual training for a pilot's license, it's expensive. It's going to take some time to sit down and figure all that part up. Renting an airplane to get up in the air required at least a minimum of about 40 hours of flight time, about 30 hours of ground time. So my game plan, what I've got going ahead, is this time that it takes to do all this is the time that I'm going to have to start losing some weight drastically. 3.5, 4 weeks now I've been with this mindset. I've already dropped 13 pounds, so that's a good thing. It's not an easy thing to do, but that was my initial. We've upped my medication for diabetes in a manner that's going to help promote weight loss. Some of the medicines and stuff that you do for diabetes can be changed to also help you lose weight, so we're going to start doing that. Exercise is going to be a big thing. I mean, I've been running construction equipment for 25 years, 30 years. You don't get a lot of exercise. You sit inside the machine, you run the machine, you're wore out by the end of the day. You don't feel like coming home and running 2 miles or walking 2 miles or whatever you have to do. But I think my game plan is going to be start doing more, start eating less, and move in that direction. Hopefully that's going to be successful enough to get me down. Before I can start training in an airplane, I'm going to have to be around 320 pounds. So I've got another 35 pounds to lose before I can even get in a training plane. So hang on, watch me through this. We're going to make it. Once you get there, there's a lot of book work. There's a lot of stuff you got to learn. What I've seen already, doing some research that I have been doing, talking to different people, this is meticulous. This is not like a driver's license where you study for a test and you take a test and you're done. This is a mindset change on how you do things. one of the benefits of having a plane available to you and a license is it shrinks the world. Getting to places is not taking as long as you're used to. You're in control of that, so you can actually decide where you're going and how far you're going and follow your flight plan. As long as weather works with you, you can follow your plan and have a nice time. But of course, you are in an airplane and there are changes, and you have to learn to watch for those changes. And there's instruments and stuff to help you, but it's a challenge. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll bring you all along with me. Keep watching these videos if you would, please. Help hit the subscribe button, the like button. We'll go from there. The other side, there's a third side of this. Besides building the one in the back, I eventually, once I'm granted my medical certificate and I'm able to start training to fly, I do want to look into owning my own airplane. Now, there's a lot of airplanes out there. There's a lot of things you can do. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to end up with. It's probably going to be one of the bigger Cessnas, single engines. I do want to be able to take my wife and my family and my friends. I want them to enjoy this with me. If they don't want to, that's up to them. I'm not going to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do, but hopefully they pick it up with me and they ride with me. It'd be fun. Some of these vacations that you think of as week-long vacations in an airplane, if everything goes right, from what I can see, they're going to shorten up and become weekend projects. So if I want to go down to Nashville for the weekend, not a big deal on an airplane, as long as weather holds with you. But I'm excited. I want to see how this is going to go. I want to share this with everybody. It's a whole lot to this. It's not just go take some tests and learn stuff and study hard and you're going to get there. Been there, done that. I've got the 4-year college degree. That all, had to work through all that. I've been in the seat of equipment long enough. I've learned that. Not saying I don't learn every day. I'm just saying I've been down that road. This road is a little different. You have to develop skills. You have to develop talents. You have to look at things that you've not worried about before. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully you guys take to this channel and we make enough videos, keep you interested in what's going on. I'm going to take you on. There's a whole side of aviation, air shows, local pilot get-togethers. There's one next weekend. I'm hoping to be able to do some recording on that. It's called a fly-in, drive-in. If you've got an airplane, you fly down to this private airport. You all get down. It's like a big barbecue. You get together. You share ideas. You share things. Hopefully, I'm going to learn a lot down there. I hope to meet a lot of good people. Hope to learn a lot. Hope to see a lot of these airplanes that are experimentals. Experimental is intriguing to me because it's a whole nother ball game outside of this manufacturer made the airplane for you, go fly it. Now, it's like the custom bike area. Yes, the bike's still safe, but now it looks different than everybody else's. It's something that is yours. You've personalized it. You can't do that with these Cessnas and these Pipers and all that. You can paint them, you can do that kind of stuff, but you can't add the stuff that makes it comfortable without a lot of problems. The experimentals, that's what they're for. You build them, you design them, you work on them. So I want to meet a lot of these people so I don't make the wrong mistakes. My kids, kind of a funny story. My kids, for my birthday, it was in August, heard I wanted to do this, and they figured the best thing they could do is pick up a remote control airplane so Dad could learn to fly with a remote control. Now, my favorite warplane has been a P-51 Mustang, so they found one. I read through the manual on this thing, and I'm nervous. I know these kids spent a good amount of money on this airplane, and it takes some skill to fly it. It takes some skill to land it. So I'm a little nervous about tearing it up. I haven't taken it out for a flight yet. I think I want to get somebody who's got a little more experience with this and take me out and show me how to do it. So if you guys have any comments about anything that I've said, if you got any helpful words, please put them down in the comment section. I'll try to respond to them as I can. I'm still working a full-time job outside this. I work about 55 to 60 hours a week outside of what we're doing here. So it's going to be a time crunch, but I will try to respond to all comments. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me. I'm not saying I'm an expert in any of this. I'm just letting you know what I've found out so far, and I'm going to help you see what I do. I'm probably going to make some mistakes along the way, and I'm going to learn from them. So thank you all for watching my videos. Looking forward to making some more with you guys, and smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.